Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, welcome back to FTB's Infinity Lite on the BeachBlock server. That's right, folks, we're back on the block. We're doing some modded Minecraft. And last episode, as you may or may not recall, we were working with a little bit of refined storage. And this episode is going to be a little bit of the same stuff. Not too much the same, but a little bit of the same. We're going to work on a couple of things that we need for some automation around here. It's about freaking time too, because we have been trying to work our way to this with all the blood magic stuff that we've been working on. We haven't really had a lot of time to get super technical with our world here, but today we're gonna rectify that. Today we're gonna do a little bit of stuff that will help us on our journey for some automation. So last episode, like we said, we set up our refined storage system. We got ourselves a refined storage controller. We got ourselves a grid. We built some inscribers, or not some scribers, but they're called solderers. And this, I keep wanting to associate this with applied energistics, but can't really do that. The other thing that we did was excuse me, on the back side of our modular storage units for RF tools, we put a bunch of remote storage. What was it? Was it remote storage? No, it wasn't remote storage. What were those? External storage. That's what they were. External storage connectors, so that we can interface with our grid. We can actually see what all is in all of these modular storage units that we have on the back wall. So what are we going to do today? Well, today, like I said, we're going to work on some automation type stuff. First thing I want to do today is back here behind the sag mills and alloy smelters, I did some reconnoitering, reconfiguring, reconstructorating, using a lot of big words today. Speaking of today, it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Hopefully everyone is ready for the new year. I certainly am. 2016 was pretty good to me. I'll be talking more about that in a vlog that I'm going to be doing next week, but 2016 was pretty good to me. You know, there were some ups and downs and all that good stuff, but all in all, it wasn't a bad year for me. I know that some people really had a rough time with 2016, and I hope that their 2017 gets a lot better. But what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be putting in a couple of pieces. One piece for sure. We're going to put in some exporters. Exporters in the refined storage are a way for you to take items out of your inventory and put them someplace else. Okay, and so what I want to do is, so we don't have a lot of ores right now. We've got a few, but we've got, the ores that we have. I want to be able to export them directly to the sag mills and have them get pulverized, right? Or sagged, or whatever you want to call it in Ender IO. I know that in thermal expansion, back in the old thermal expansion mod, that it was pulverized, but it's not that way now. But we want to be able to do that, and so we're going to go ahead today, and we're going to go ahead and craft up an exporter. So let's get ourselves the recipe. So it's an exporter, not an esporter. Exporter. There we go. So here's the exporter. And it's a construction core, it's an improved processor, and a piece of cable. We should be able to do that. Do we have everything we need for that? We do. Now, how many ores do we have? Because each one of these exporters can only handle so many things. So let's see. I've got construction core. I got 2 construction cores, so I can make 2 of them. And we've got, let's see, this is something that can go in the pulverizer. This, or not the pulverizer, the sag mill. This can go in the sag mill. This can go in the sag mill. Iron, of course, can go in the sag mill. Nickel can go in there. Osmium cannot. Resonating ore, don't think so. I think that just goes into a resonator, which we might do. I can't decide. So we're going to need to come up with a big power option. I know that there is extreme reactors in this thing, and extreme reactors are cool. But the other thing that I'm thinking about possibly is an endergenic generator. That's the RF tools big power generator that uses ender pearls, and we seem to have a lot of ender pearls. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Silver could go in the sag mill. Tin, uranium cannot. Yellowite can. So let's go ahead and make 2 of these, I guess. Okay, we'll go ahead and make 2 of these. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break I'm going to go ahead and break this right here because I don't want this thing to be online just yet. What I want to do is I want to see, let's go ahead and put that there and put that there. Can I configure them? Yes, I can. So each one holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? We may not have more than 9 ores at any one given time. So, ores, copper, definitely. Let's get one of those. Let's get some iron. Let's get, what is this? The bauxite, which I think is aluminum, right? And then we need the lead, which lead may give us some problems, because lead gave us problems in our FTB unstable world that we were doing over the summer. That one might not work for us very well, but we'll try it. Nickel, we could use. Osmium, no. Redstone, no. Silver, yes. Tin, yes. And yellowite. Okay. Oh, also, so a couple episodes ago, we were talking about the problems that I think it was maybe in the last episode, we were talking about some problems that we were having with FTB until utilities and the chunk loading that it does. So everybody, for the most part, has turned off their chunk loading. There's a few people that haven't been on, and we need them to get on and do their thing, but they haven't done so yet, and that's fine. But they will. And so the other once we get everybody's chunk loading turned off, the other thing that we need to do is we need to disable FTB's chunk loading altogether. And let me tell you, that, from what I've been reading on Reddit and some of the other places, that is not an easy task. We might be better off just deleting FTB utilities altogether and just taking it out of the pack. The problem that causes for us, of course, is that we would no longer have. Oh, we need that in there too. Now I could split this all up, but I want to make sure that this is going to work. So we'll get back to this in a second. Let me finish what I was talking about. So the other chunk loading option that you have in in most of these mod packs is from extra utilities. So if you do a chunk loading ward, that's this thing right here. In FTB Infinity Lite, there's no recipe for it. The recipe is turned off for some reason. Now, I've checked the configs, and the recipe is not turned off in the configs. So I don't know where to find this thing. This is, if you just follow the sticks here. So stick, 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 stick. I have redstone and a golden lasso with a villager that's under contract. Okay, that's the recipe. That's the recipe for it. And if I put that into a crafting grid, it doesn't make it. It doesn't even recognize it. So we got to figure out where that problem is and how we can go about getting that corrected, because that seems to be the only other chunk loading option that we're going to have. And frankly, to be very honest, you're going to have chunk loading, right? Now, is this thing doing it? It is. What did it export? Oh, so it exported iron first, and I think iron was the one that we put on there first, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So it's going to go in order of importance, in order of insertion, I should say. But it's going to go ahead and it's going to do all of our iron now. So how much iron does it say we have in here? We want iron ore. Oh yeah, see, look, it's dropping like a rock. I love it. I love it. So it's gonna go through and do all of the iron, and then we'll get all of the iron ingots. So whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's not do that. Boom, give me that. Let's go in here. Let's go to ingot. So iron ingots, where are my iron ingots? Right there. So that's at 1773 right now. We've got some in the alloy smelter. I need to get some speed upgrades or some capacitors on here. Oh. Why are you not going out? You should be going out. Why are you not going out? Okay, let's see what's going on there. Let's give me this, this, this. I can't pick anything up because I have too many things in my inventory. Let's get this out of here. This, and this. Get all that out of there. Now we can pick these up. Did I set this to export? Where's my yet a wrench? Yet a wrench. Yet another wrench. And right click. It is set for extract. Why is it not extracting? Why is it not extracting? Uh-huh. What do we got here? That's set for insert. But it's definitely not going. Did I mess something up? Let's see here. When I was doing all this work down here, did I break something? I might have. It's possible. Lots of things are possible when it comes to me and Minecraft. So that's connected. That's connected. That's connected. It seems like everything's connected. If I put cobblestone in there, does it go? No, it does not. So that stuff should all be coming back over here. That should all be coming back over here. These are all routable, right? They are all routable. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Instead of doing that, instead of doing it with the way we had it here, but that causes a problem for us because this ender chest is our way of getting quarry stuff back, right? Why is that not working? I didn't break anything back over here, did I? I guess we'll take a look. I guess we'll take a look and see. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look around and see if I can figure out why this isn't going back to my storage network, and I'll be right back with you. I'll let you know what I find. Okay, disaster and crisis averted. Fixed it. All I had to do was take and remove the item conduit and put it back and make sure that it was set up for insert, and it worked fine. Nothing too serious in this particular case, which I'm thankful for, but hopefully that doesn't rear its ugly head again. Now, next thing we need to do is one of the things that I absolutely hate doing in Minecraft, especially when it comes to Ender IO stuff, is crafting capacitors, right? So capacitor. So, to craft capacitors, it's a process. You got to make the basic capacitor first, and then you got to do the double layer, which means you need two basics, and then you got to do the octatic, which means that you need 2 of these, which means that you need 4 of these, and it's a big process, and I really hate like grindy stuff, right? If I got to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, that really gets kind of tedious for me. So what we're going to do here today, what we're going to do first is we're going to, second actually now, is we're going to make a crafter. We're going to get started doing some auto crafting here in refined storage. So a crafter is quartz enriched iron, pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Advanced processors, which I think I've got a couple of those made up. A destruction core and a construction core. So let's go ahead and shift click that and see what all we need. Okay, so we need a construction core. How you make construction core? Construction core is a basic processor and glowstone, which I should have those, right? So boom, yep, got it. Okay. Now we'll click this back in there and click that like that. There we go. Now we have a crafter. Crafter's pretty easy to work with. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my crafters over here. Right? So we need a cable. Let's get ourselves a cable like so. Boom. And again, beautiful thing about refined storage is once I've got one hooked up to the network, everything else that I hook up to this will be connected to the network. I can make sure that it's connected to the network by coming to my controller. And there we go. We got one crafter on the network. Sweet. Okay, so now how do you do this? How do you utilize this? Well, you utilize this by building yourself some patterns. Now there's 2 ways that you can make patterns. You can either make patterns with a pattern grid, so P-A-T-T-E-R-N, pattern grid, which is this thing. Or you can do your processing pattern encoder. So what the pattern grid does is the pattern grid allows you to create craftable items, create patterns for craftable items. So like 2 oak planks will give you 4 sticks. That's a standard Minecraft recipe, right? You can encode that using this. The processing pattern encoder is one that you use when it's not a standard recipe. So like if I wanted to take gold, glowstone, and redstone and make a piece of energetic alloy out of that, I would have to use the processing pattern encoder for that. So there will be one of these. We're going to need to get one of these going today, but I don't think, well, yeah, I probably will need that because I'm going to need to start making some energetic alloy and such. But first things first, let's get ourselves a pattern encoder. Not the processing pattern, but a pattern grid. So we need an advanced processor, which I think I have. We need a pattern, which we need to, pattern. So a pattern is just quite clear glass, redstone, and quartz enriched iron. I don't know that I have all of that. What do I need to make that happen? So let's shift that in there like that. Oh, do I have one? I do have it. Cool. Okay. So now we need that, and we need, for this, we need a regular grid. So let's go ahead and make one of those. Can I make that? No. I need a machine casing. So let's get a machine casing. Machine casing, thank you very much. Let's get ourselves a grid, which we need another construction core. And we need a, what is it, a destruction core? I think that's what it was. So destruction core, yep. Click, okay. So now we should be able to make the regular grid. Got it? Yep, okay, so regular grid. Now we can do that, so we need that, plus we need an advanced processor. So do I have an advanced processor? I do, sweet. So grab that, and then we bring those over here, and we put those into our solderer. It was this, and then this, and then this. And so that'll get us our pattern grid. And then we can just hook that up over here next to the regular grid once it's ready. The other thing that we can look at while we're waiting for that to process is we can look at this this pattern encoder. So pattern encoder, pretty straightforward. It's just a couple of patterns. It's a furnace. All easy stuff to make. So let's go ahead and make one of these real quick because it doesn't require anything super special. Let's get ourselves a crafting table, and we need a furnace. Well, not that. Escape. Whoops. Yep, here. A furnace. Actually, I think I have a furnace. Don't I have a furnace in my inventory? Furnace. I do. Okay, so we don't need to make that. And then we need a couple of these patterns. So let's make 2 of those, 1, 2 of those, and I think that'll do it. So click that in there like so. Yes. Okay, so we've got our processing pattern encoder here. I don't remember, does this have to be hooked up to the network? It does not. This does not have to be hooked up to the network. This can sit anywhere. So I'm going to take this, and I think I'm going to put it right over... Oh, let's put it right here for now. Just keep it kind of out of the way. All right, so first recipe. What's the first thing that we should teach this thing how to make? Well, I think the first thing that we should teach it how to make is more patterns. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and teach it how to make patterns. We want to make a pattern just like so. Now, see, we can't... This thing doesn't craft anything for us. All it'll do is take the recipe and put it here, and then if I have a blank pattern, it'll put the recipe over here. So let's go into our regular grid. Let's go over here, our crafting grid. Let's go ahead and, whoops, that's, wait a minute. Oh, I gotta do it here. I gotta do it here. So let's go here, let's do this, and let's do, oh, am I out of, do I not have enough glass? I don't have enough glass. Sand, do I have any sand? Should have. Yeah, we got sand. I guess we'll just use all that and turn it into glass. That'll only take a second to get that going. As a matter of fact, it's got glass already, so sweet. All right, so now we can take this pattern that we just made, we can put it right here and tell it to make that pattern, right? So now, if we come over here and we put this into our crafter, check this out. Now we can come over here, and if we type in patterns here, P-A-T-T-E-R-N, we can craft a pattern, right? So let's go ahead and tell it to make one. Start. Tells us if everything's available. Go. Now we got a pattern. Sweet. How about that? So now what we need to do is we need to tell it what are some other recipes that we're going to need. So one of the things that we talked about that we wanted to do was we wanted to do capacitors, right? So capacitor. So how do we tell it to do a basic capacitor? Well, we need to make sure that it has redstone. We need to make sure that it has gold nuggets, and we need to make sure that it has copper. Copper should not be ever an issue. Redstone should never be an issue. Gold nuggets could be an issue. So we need to tell it how to make gold nuggets, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and, whoops, I'm lost. There we go. Let's go ahead and make a pattern, or take the pattern. So pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R-N. We can pull items out of our inventory here, which is fine. Let's go ahead and tell it how to make a gold nugget. And let's create a pattern for it. Sweet. So now we can take this over here and we can put it into our crafter. And if we go in here and we tell it that we want a gold nugget, oops, not God, gold nugget, it sees that we have 27 of them already, but if we take all, or no, it had a lot more than 27. If we take them all away, now we have an option to craft them. Okay, so cool there, that's good. Now we can tell it how to make a basic processor. So we need another pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R-N. We can tell it to craft it from here. I'm going to go ahead and tell him to craft about 10 of them. Oh, 10. Oh no, minus 10, plus 1. Start. Don't have enough glass. Don't have enough quartz enriched iron. So we should tell it how to make quartz enriched iron. I'm not going to tell it how to make stuff over here at the sag mills and all that today. We're going to probably do that in the next episode. But we can tell it how to make quartz enriched iron. That's going to be another important one. So let's get ourselves another pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R-N. We just need one for now. It says we're missing quartz enriched iron. So we can't teach it how to make quartz enriched iron yet because we don't have enough quartz enriched iron to teach it how to make it. So quartz enriched iron there. Go ahead and make that. Go ahead and make that. Okay. Now can we tell it to make a pattern? I think we can. I think we can tell it to make a pattern now. Start. Yes. Start. Cool. So now we got a pattern. We're going to tell it how to make quartz enriched iron. Sweet. Put this over here. Shift on these, it'll show you what the pattern is actually for. So this one's an actual pattern. This one's an actual gold nugget. That one's a quartz enriched iron. Cool stuff, right? Okay, so now it knows how to make all that. I'm going to have to get some alloys cooking up here now. Oh, we want to tell it how to make a basic capacitor. We'll do that one first. Capacitor, one of those. Shift click that in. Let's get ourselves a pattern, P-A-T-T-E-R-N. Go ahead and craft me one, please. Start. It's got to craft one of those. Cool. It's got to craft some quartz enriched iron. Start. There we go. Sweetness. I love it. Okay, so now here's a pattern for a basic capacitor. Plop that in there like that. Now I can come over here and I can tell it to make capacitors. Oh, baby. So now the ultimate goal here is that we want to be able to get into some other items here, some other things here. Now I need to do some research. There used to be some issues with the crafter and the like sag mills and alloy smelters and stuff being able to interface with them directly. You used to have to put those into a chest maybe, or something like that. It was something like that. So I'll have to look into that real quick and see what all that's about. But I'm going to go ahead and gather up some stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get it to process me some basic processors or basic capacitors and all that. It sounds like I got a bunch of zombies over there I got to kill. So I'm going to go do that little maintenance type stuff. When I come back, we'll look into the more advanced processing that we need for these capacitors, especially the higher level ones like the octadics. So see you in a momo. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, by the way, about the audio quality for the first 2/3 of this stinking video. I had a setting that got all jacked up in my sound manager, and I had to go back in and fix it. Hopefully this sounds better to you guys, at least not so distorted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, back to what we were doing here. I killed off a bunch of mobs and did some other stuff, but we're ready now to create the recipe for our double layer capacitor. So we want there's one thing we got to keep an eye on though, and that is what we put in on these alternating or differentiating little recipes. So like the Ender IO coal powder is the easiest thing to come up with. So what we want to do is we want to shift click that in there so that we get the coal powder and not the coal dust. So let's go ahead and take that coal dust out, and let's go in here and find coal powder. Put that in there like that, okay? Because, well, we could OR dictionary it. I wonder if the OR dictionary on it is the same. I wonder if the OR dictionary on coal powder and coal dust is the same. We're going to go ahead and do it like that. We're going to try it. But that gives us a double layer capacitor, so sweet, we've got that. Now, let's go in here and find the octadic capacitor, like so. And that's going to be like this, right? We're going to OR dictionary that. We don't need to OR dictionary that because that's just vibrant alloy and glowstone. And we got one more pattern there, right? So now, if we come over here, notice that this one here is, oh, hey, there we go. This one here is just about full. So we'll go ahead and put the double layer there, and then we'll come over here and we'll do the octadic here, right? So now, if we come in here, I've got this one set up so that it only displays craftables, which is kind of cool. But now you can see that we've got a basic capacitor, we've got a double layer capacitor, and we've got an octadic capacitor. Now we have enough stuff here to go ahead and make an octadic capacitor. We have two double layers. We should have glowstone, and we should have vibrant alloy. So let's go ahead and tell it to craft one. Oh no, we're missing glowstone. So we can fix that though, because we can tell it to go ahead and make us a pattern. Start. Okay, and then we can come over here and we can tell it how to make glowstone. So let's put this pattern here and clear this out and find our glowstone, which we're going to have to go and get some more because we're running kind of low on glowstone. There we go. Now we have a pattern. Sweet. Let's go over here and put it in here. Awesome. Now we should be able to tell it to make our octadic capacitor. Go. And go. And there it is. Already done. We've got ourselves an octadic capacitor, which we're going to take right over here and put into here because this thing is stinking taking forever, and that will speed it up immensely. But that, folks, sadly, we are out of time. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did enjoy bringing it to you. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe. The likes and subscriptions help out oh so immensely when it comes to those pesky YouTube search results. The other thing that helps out a lot is comments, so make sure you come right down here to the comment section and leave your comments below. Folks, thank you so very much for all of your support in 2016. This channel has seen tremendous growth, somewhere along the lines of 200%, if I'm not mistaken. I got to crunch the numbers because that's going to be in one of the vlog things that I talked about this next week in our January update. But this channel has seen such huge growth this year. And it's all because of you guys. Granted, I'm putting content out there and you guys seem to like it, but you don't have to subscribe, and you don't have to hit the like button, and you don't have to leave comments, but you guys choose to, and that means so much to me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my beating little heart. You guys are the greatest fans that a guy could hope for, and you guys have made this truly a year for me to remember. So thank you so very much. But again, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for all the love. Hopefully you have a wonderful New Year's celebration, whatever you plan on doing. Hopefully you have a great time doing it. Don't forget to watch all the bowl games and go whoever you're rooting for. And until next time, folks, we will catch you on the flip side. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.